Hey YouTube, welcome back to my channel. My name is Anna. If you're new here, what's up? Still Anna. I'm gonna go ahead and give you guys a disclaimer for this video. I am changing everybody's name in the story time because I don't want people commenting down below in the comment section like, oh, that's my ex, or oh, that's my sister you're talking about, oh, that's my da-da-da-da, and so forth. We ain't got time for that. Be sure you subscribe to my channel so that way you guys are updated whenever I upload a new video. You guys will get a notification, everything. You gotta turn those post bell notifications after you subscribe because you can't just hit subscribe and be notified. No, you gotta hit the post bell notifications as well. So I will be posting every week, but I will try my best to post every week because, yeah, 2 kids and, constantly changing a schedule. It's hectic. So just bear with me. So today's story time took place in July of 2021. So that was almost 3 years ago. Dang, was it that long ago? So I have to give you guys a backstory. And I have to give you guys a backstory so that way you guys can understand why I do the things that I do. Person A, B, C, D, E, F, whatever, do what they do. All right. So we're going to rewind to, I say, a little bit of June of 2021. So I would say like maybe the middle of the middle of June of 2021. Excuse me. We was staying at this lady's house. We're going to call her Granny because she was literally everybody's granny in the neighborhood. She was like literally the neighborhood granny. Everybody got that one person in the neighborhood, like that one old lady. So yeah, you know what I'm talking about. So we were staying at her house. Now her house is huge, okay? Like 2-story. She's got a mother-in-law house kind of in the back side of the house, on the property. It's a really big house. And I could tell that house used to be really, really gorgeous. As a matter of fact, when I was a kid, like my daughter's age, she's finna turn 5. I remember riding by that house and it was so gorgeous. And I used to tell myself, one day I want to live there. It's so beautiful. Like I'm going to own that place, I want to live there. It is just so gorgeous, or just have a house like that. Well, I didn't think, I was going to live in that house in that condition, but here we are in 2021. So fast forward to second week or third week of June. We are looking for somewhere to stay. Now, the reason why we were staying at this granny's house was because Tat's mom, she was about to lose her place. She was finna get evicted, which is another story time on that. Oh my God. I got so many story times. But look, that's a good thing since I've been absent for like a year and a half or so. I have a lot of story times to make up for that. So, and it's some juicy stuff. It's some juicy content. So we were staying over there because, his mom was going to lose the place and he was still living with his mom. So that equaled, where was he going to stay? So we decided to go stay with Granny. Well, actually, we was living with somebody's house. Well, living at somebody's house, we was roommating, but that flopped. Again, another story time for another day. So we ended up moving to this granny's house right after that. So we were over here trying to find somewhere where we can just, live, not roommate or anything like that, but like our own place. So we were look online. I had my car, but I ended up losing it. Oh my God, that's not a word. Losing it because of a situation. I had hit a pothole. It's Louisiana. I hit a pothole, and then when I did, 2 of my tires busted, and not so did my rims, but they were bent. Both of my rims were bent on one whole side of my car. So I had to leave my car on the side of the road, and I was literally going to go get it back the next day. But my mom got to it before I could, and she ended up parking it at her house. And it was in her name, so it was nothing I could really do about it. So there's that. That's why I didn't have a car during this time. So when we was looking for homes, we were just doing it online, calling around, asking people. And we ended up finding this place. It's a projects. And it was in this village where Tat grew up. used to live. Okay, so in this village, there are 2 sets of projects, and we was going to be staying at one of them. Now, we done paid the deposits and everything for the water, the electric, the gas. I think the deposit to move in the house itself was like $100. It wasn't that much at all. So I ended up pawning one of my vanities, not one of my vanities, my vanity to my mom for like $300. Okay. And Tat had pawned his 308 to his grandfather for like $150 or so. So that was going to be money towards us getting our house and everything. So fast forward, I have court coming up and my birthday's coming up. My court and my birthday is on the same day, on the 28th of June. So I went to court by myself. My mom had picked me up from this granny's house and took me to court. I was there, of course, like I knew, all day. I didn't get out till 3. And it was just a stressful, hectic day. And I asked my mom if she could take me to Walmart so I can get myself a birthday cake at least, you know. So I got my birthday cake and everything. And I told her to drop me off at this little village. I'm not going to say the name. So she dropped me off at this village at Tat's grandparents' house. And I was just trying to figure out, you know, what's the vibe, you know, what we doing today, blah, blah, blah. And he says that he got the house keys. Now, mind you, we had already signed for the lease and everything. We just didn't get the keys yet, you know. We didn't get the keys until maintenance was done, you know, painting, maybe fixing a couple of hinges on the doors, mopping and buffing and waxing the floors, whatnot, you know, all that jazz. So we couldn't like get the keys the day we signed the lease. So the day after I got out of court and I bought my birthday cake, he got the keys and he showed me whenever I went to his grandparents' house. So we ended up getting some groceries and snacks and drinks and whatnot for our house to stock up, you know. And we went ahead and got our bed. That's it. That's all we had got was food and our bed. So we were staying there. You know, I was really excited, you know, finally moving in from a place that had like, you know, shitty condition. There was no AC, barely water running. And it was just me and Tat staying there, of course, with Granny. So like I said, it wasn't really the best condition. So we stayed over there at our new house. Everything was cool, you know. We were just trying to get used to everything, you know. Kind of not really get to know the neighbors, but like kind of generally know like who's around our neighborhood, such and such, you know. And then a few days go by and we're like, okay, we need to go ahead and get a job. You know, we need to go ahead and start applying for a job so we can keep the bills maintained and the rent and also get more house stuff, you know, towels, toilet paper, etc., etc., etc. So we're over here putting in applications. We're not getting anything, no interviews, no callbacks, nothing. So I remember talking to my mom about it, and she was saying that, you know, we should apply at the new Whataburger they're building here in town. So we're like, okay, cool. So we put in an application for that. And the next day, we had got a phone call for an interview, and we had to go to the unemployment office here in my local town where I'm at now. So me and Tat went. We did our interview. Everything was good. And they didn't tell us, oh, come back on this day or nothing like that. You know, we just did our interview, and they told us, okay, you know, we'll have everything in the system. We'll review your application, your interview, and everything, and we'll kind of figure out what we want to do. So I'm going to say maybe a day or two go by, and we get a phone call that we should report to Whataburger on this day. So we're like, okay, cool. Be there for 7 a.m. Okay, cool. And we were both working at that time at 7 a.m. So I was like, okay, cool, you know, because I didn't have a vehicle. He didn't have a vehicle. So it was really good that we had, like, you know, the same schedule. So the day comes. We obviously had to get new slacks and all that stuff. They went ahead and gave us our shirts and everything. So we went in the restroom and changed at the restaurant. And it was packed. You know, it looked like a bunch of inmates all over the place. Everybody's wearing black and orange, black and orange, black and orange, black slacks and black shoes and an orange top, and a black little hat, little cap or whatever. So it was just like, oh my God, we all look like inmates. So it was packed. Like all the employees that was currently working at Whataburger will be there on one shift. Yeah, so it was pretty hectic. If I have some pictures of that day or whatever, I will post them right here. Pictures, videos, whatever. I will post them right here. Post them, Anna, if you can. I'm talking to my edit self. So we were working everything. There were people working in the front lobby, and there was a manager, training people to work in the front lobby. There were people working in the drive-through, which I was doing. I was doing the Pacific drive-through of, making the drinks, getting everybody their sauces, reading the bag tickets, and giving their food out the window. That was a drive-through part that I was working. And there was another drive-through, of course, you take their money, you take their car, put in the register, you fill out their orders for the drive-through and give them their change, the typical. And then, you have the sandwich crew, and then you have the grill crew, whichever. That's the crew that Tat was working at. He was working the grill, so he was making the meat for the burgers and stuff, And where I was, I could only see in front of me, across from me, under like the computer screen, where I had to make sure everybody's orders were matching up with the bags for whichever customer was at the door, the window. It was a fry station, the French fries. And then behind the French fries, not behind, but beside, was the sandwich station. And then there was like this wall thing or whatever in the middle part between the sandwich crew and the grill crew was like, I guess where they had the bags for like the bag of food and stuff like that. And the grill crew was right over there on the other side of it. Now I couldn't see the grill crew. So I couldn't see, who was doing what, like who was working. Well, I could tell who was working if I looked on the schedule, but I couldn't physically see the people. You get what I'm saying? I can only see my crew, the French fry crew, and the sandwich crew. And I couldn't even see the lobby people. I could only see the customers. And of course, if the employee comes out from the lobby front desk area and come to the back to grab their food or whatever, then I would see them. But other than that, I don't see them. So I'm just working, doing my job. It was a little hectic because, we had like district manager, managers on managers on managers on managers, the owner, co-owner, all that stuff, at the store, including all of these freaking employees. So everybody's training everybody's trying to get to know each other, everybody's trying to get to know their task and get into a routine, So it was hectic. It was really hectic. And I don't think we didn't get off till like maybe 2:30, 3 o'clock. So we was working full time over there. So fast forward, then like later on that night, I decided that I wanted a new tattoo. So Tat, given reason why I give him his nickname Tat, not only is because he's heavy tatted, was because he has these cool machines. He has a rotary pen, the power supply. He has ink, tattoo ink, all these needles and stuff, stencil paper, gloves, like even like practice skin. Like he was wanting to do tattoos. So I was like, you know what? Give me a tattoo. I always want a rosary on my arm, so give me this. So this was a tattoo that he had tatted on me, which was my rosary. Probably one of my favorite tattoos and probably one of the most tattoos that I get complimented and asked, like, oh, who did your tattoo? Where'd you get it from? Well, not get it from, but where'd you get your tattoo done at? Oh, I did it. Oh, for real? Damn, I know he did tattoos. He do. Every tattoo on my body he's done, except for my daughter's name, my oldest daughter. I got that done at the shop. That was my first tattoo. I actually did a vlog on that, actually, like videos back. I did a vlog on that. So any other tattoos on my body, Tat has done them. So I got my tattoo done. And the next day we had to go to work. And now it's mandatory that we wear gloves. Everybody has to wear gloves, even people working at the front lobby. So I was wearing my glove on my new fresh tattoo, like not even 24-hour-old tattoo. And where I was sitting, not sitting, but where my drive-through was, where my station was, the sun was beaming, like the morning and afternoon sun was beaming on my drive-through window. And it was just all on the side. I'm constantly moving stuff. My hand is always up. And wearing those gloves, I sweat, and the sun blaring the heat, it made me sweat even more. So my cross is a little messed up right here, so I gotta get that fixed. No big deal. No big deal. It was the middle of the night. I get a phone call from my mother that my oldest daughter, well, at the time she was my only daughter, Valentine, was having a full-blown seizure. What? Okay, so here's the thing. Sometimes my daughter would stay at me and Tat's house. Sometimes she would stay at my mother's house. And then, of course, every other weekend she has to. She has to go stay at her dad's house. And then sometimes it would be like one day during the week. So it's one day during the week, and every other weekend she would have to go to her dad's. Like, that was like, mandatory by court. There was no other way we could play around that. But my mom's house and me and Tat's house, yeah, because we all didn't live together. So at the time, she was at my mom's house, and my mom was calling me, telling me that, Valentine is having a stroke. And she said, like, I done called the ambulance and everything. I don't know what's going on. I don't know why she's having seizures. Like, do you remember if her dad, ever hearing about her dad having seizures or anything like that? I'm like, no, not really. I don't ever hear anything about it. Like, and I knew everything about her dad. And I never known for him to have seizures or anything like that. So when I got that phone call that my daughter was having a seizure, I was freaking out. Now, I didn't have a car or anything, so I couldn't just like go to the hospital, So you best believe I was up all night, by my phone. I was telling, if anything happens, if they have any questions or anything like that, you don't call me, just FaceTime me, matter of fact. FaceTime me instead, so I can physically see the doctors or physically see the nurses and talk to them that way. So everything was fine. She didn't have any more seizures after that. Come to find out, the reason why she had a seizure to begin with was because she was having a fever seizure. Like, her fever was getting so high that night that it caused her to have a seizure. And then come to find out that her dad, whenever he was the same age as our daughter, he had the same situation when he got sick and his fever broke up really too high. He ended up having a seizure as well. But ever since then, Valentine has never had a seizure. Never. I've never seen her have a seizure. I never had to call the ambulance or anything like that. So let's hope that's the first and the only and the last time she will have a seizure. So we were all paranoid, though. We were all still scared. It's the fact that she had a seizure. But the doctors told us, whenever she's sick and her fever, she gets a fever, just keep an extra eye on it. Because I know, with kids and babies, when they're already sick and have fevers, you got to keep an eye on them. But with her especially, keep a triple eye on her. So we were still worried, though, whether she was going to be sick or not sick. We were still scared. It's the fact that she had a seizure. But on this particular day, everybody had to go to work. My mom had to go to work. Me and Tat had to go to work. So Valentine had to go to daycare. So here was one of the rules working at Whataburger now. You could not have your phone on you. You had to either leave your phone at home or leave it in the car, or you could leave it in one of the manager's office. I'm not leaving my phone in no manager's office. I'd rather leave my phone in the car than the manager's office because, people go into the office, in and out throughout the day. Somebody might steal something. I don't know. Look, I'm just very territorial when it comes to my stuff and my belongings. And especially at this time, I was paying my own phone bill. So, yeah, no. So I decided to just, turn my volume down, put on silent mode or whatever, and stick it in my back pocket. Tat did the same thing. But except for he forgot to put his phone on silent mode. Now, the reason why we had our phones in our back pocket was because we didn't know, if we needed to be on our phone because in case, Valentine had a seizure at daycare, my mom would be calling me, letting me know, or daycare will be calling. So that's the only reason why we had our phones on us. That's the only reason. Any other time, we left our phones in the car. Before Valentine had her seizure, we left our phones in my mom's car, or we left them at home. But ever since she had that seizure, we left it in our back pockets and put on silent mode, at least on vibrate. So if we felt our phone vibrate like more than one time, we know it's a phone call coming. But Tat forgot to put his phone on silent mode. So I heard his phone ring, but I was just like, ain't none of my business. I'm going to keep doing me. I'm going to keep on working. And then next thing you know, I see one of the district managers come up to him and was like, hey, I need you to come with me. I was like, ooh. As I'm holding like the cup of Dr. Pepper, I'm like, ooh. Ain't got nothing to do with me. He live with me. I live with him. I'm sure he'll tell me the tea later. Like, oh well. And I'm over here like just giving out the Dr. Pepper to the customer. So I hate to tell you guys, but I'm gonna have to cut this right here. This is where I'm gonna have to stop the story time. I will be doing a part 2 to the story time of the Whatafight here soon. I have to cut the story short because I have to go somewhere, but I really wanted to make a video for you guys. I didn't want to just go another week after I just, last week made a video saying I'm back, blah, 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 and then missed another week. You know what I'm saying? So I'm sorry, I'm sorry, but I have to cut it short. But if you guys like this video so far, if you like the backstory, the plot, I guess, go ahead and give this video a thumbs up. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And please turn on your post bell notifications when you subscribe, so that way you are notified whenever I upload a new video, which will be every week. Hopefully I get to a point where I can post twice in a week, but for now it's going to be once a week. So yeah, I will see you guys in my next video. Stay tuned. Bye.